This is a program-shattering loss for this season. I mean, it's almost inconceivable, David, to think about where this program was on Selection Sunday in December, thinking that they were in the playoffs and then going to all the different courses that they tried to take to get back in it, which they couldn't, of course. And then everything, ever since then, it's been a disaster. They lost by 60 points to Georgia in the Orange Bowl, Dublin 2 weeks ago. And this was what everyone thought was the bounce back. Okay, let's put all that behind us. Let's have a good game on a primetime standalone night, and it got worse. And we are sitting here, the sun is not even up in most of the country on September 3rd, David, and this season is over for Florida State. There's no getting around it.
Wonder if Jimbo would go ahead and run it. He's put Winston up under center. No, throw it. End zone, jump ball, touchdown! You know who he went for, number 1. Kelvin Benjamin.
Brent, he comes off the play fake. Look how high he puts the ball in the air for the 6'5" receiver. That's a mismatch. Chris Davis is a good player. He's 5'11".
In a game that was somewhat decided with 1 minute 52 seconds to go in the third, on 4th and 2, Jameis Winston hikes the ball, drops back, attempts to avoid pressure, and flops backward, resulting in a fumble on a scoop and score. I consider this play to be the proverbial backbreaker. Only one play, right? I mean, that's what we think. But let's be real, this was supposed to be FSU's next big title run after previously closing out the BCS era with the championship. They were supposed to defend their title, but that vision never came to fruition. Maybe, just maybe, if Jameis Winston and the team could capture one more title, then they get some heavily talented recruits, Jimbo Fisher stays a little bit longer, and the story is different. Who knows? One thing's for certain, a lot has changed since Florida State's last impromptu title run. For starters, FSU has seen 2 head coaching changes since the departure of Jimbo Fisher. Next, the quarterback situation was never what it was when Jameis Winston was there. The closest being Jordan Travis, but unfortunately we all know how his season ended, but more on that later. To be quite frank with you, the quarterback room has been close to abysmal since Jameis Winston's time. Sean McGuire was a decent placeholder, but he couldn't fulfill the deeds. DeAndre Francois looked promising in the future of the QB room until he suffered a season-ending injury after his first game beginning of the second season, and then he was dismissed during the offseason for a domestic dispute. Malik Henry never got to show us who he could be as he dealt with conduct issues before taking a meaningful snap. Bailey Hawkman would go on to transfer to NC State to finish out his career. And James Blackman, who served as DeAndre Francois' backup, took over the reins after Francois' explosion, and he was modest, just never given a fair chance for the fight to the outright starter position, resulting in him transferring to Arkansas State. The coaching changes after Jimbo Fisher haven't made this process any easier. Florida State fans who had to suffer through the Willie Taggart era, I am so sorry. Nobody deserved that. Terrible coaching ruined that team, absolutely decimated them and stopped them from reaching their full potential. Mike Norvell, he's been good, but he hasn't been elite, and based on what we've seen in his tenure, he might not be able to reach it. The closest he's gotten to that level of success that's expected is with Jordan Travis. Now we are here at the Jordan Travis era. Jordan Travis, the man who beat Miami, not once, not twice, but 3 times. The man who might be able to take FSU to the promised land of relevancy once again. The man who led FSU to their first division title since Jameis Winston. Jordan Travis made Florida State's offense money. Big playmaker who was efficient and well on his way to make his own claim for his Heisman campaign until November 18th, 2023, a game against Northern Alabama. You think everything go routine, right? Wrong. On a play, Jordan Travis was fighting for extra yards. He was hip drop tackled, breaking his ankle and ending his season and college career. in the middle of the playoff race. But as it goes, next man up, Tate Roadmaker would step in to help FSU win 58-13 against Northern Alabama. In spite of this, Florida State University still managed to finish undefeated, but they only managed to beat the Louisville Cardinals 16-6 in the ACC championship game. Without Jordan Travis, this team was looked at completely different, resulting in them being left out of the playoffs, but still securing a spot to a New Year's Six Bowl. Unfortunately, Florida State would be facing an extremely pissed off Georgia team. But hey, here's their chance to make a statement, right? Yeah, man, Florida State is going to show the committee exactly why they should have been in the playoffs. Florida State would go on to, wait for it, not just lose, but lose by 60 points to another potential playoff team. 63-3 was the final score. Embarrassing. In the loss, they mustered up 209 total yards of offense while Georgia gained 673. Regardless of your quarterback situation, a good defense just doesn't allow this to happen. If Jordan Travis was there, maybe it makes a difference of a few scores, say 42-21, maybe. Thus concluding their Cinderella run and bringing us to the 2024 season. During the offseason, they acquired a quarterback out of the transfer portal. Many people might be familiar with him, DJ Ukulele. He formerly played for Clemson, and he also had a stint at Oregon State. So, he's pretty familiar with the ACC. But the way he's been playing this year, I think you'd assume he was a freshman, even though he was a junior. He was one of the top ranked players coming out of his class. I think top 5 quarterbacks. And he's just turnover prone. Man, if you watched Florida State play this season, the quarterback position has just looked abysmal. They can't convert on third downs. And yeah, they started off ranked in the top 10, and it's just been horrific ever since. They're really fighting for recruits at this point and not even a playoff spot, because the season is going nowhere near as planned. And as we all know, again, this video covers the last 10 years. Last year was the best shot they had. This year, you can't start off the season losing to Georgia Tech, Boston College, and Memphis, and consider yourself a blue blood, a perennial powerhouse, or anything of that nature. We all know how this goes. The programs that are supposed to be perennial powerhouses, those are walkthrough games for them. Or at the least, if they're not walkthrough games, they're gonna win. We're not looking at a top 10 team be 0-3 a few weeks into the season. It just doesn't make any sense. But hopefully the quarterback position can rise back to prominence, because I truly feel like that's the main thing Florida State is missing. They need more than just a game manager. They need a playmaker at quarterback to bring this program back to life. They need somebody who can take the reins of the offense and truly, command and control. And until they find that missing piece, guys, we might be in for multiple long seasons for the Seminole program. But hopefully they find a quick patch to this and get it fixed and get back to being the perennial program we know. Again, I just made this video to speak a little bit about Florida State and the condition that program's currently in, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you.